TV, and then you go to the Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? Welcome. We're very serious, and welcome to the broadcast. I'm sorry I'm a half hour late. I was on another podcast. Serious? I was on another podcast, and then that podcast got knocked off the air. And so that had to be rescheduled for Thursday. It wasn't my show. It was another show, but they were having technical difficulties. Maybe it was a subject matter. Who knows? Anyway, welcome to the Coming Apocalypse. This is the YouTube version of it. I am Pastor Paul Begley, and we have a ton of information to share with you today. We're broadcasting on YouTube, and we should be also live at my website. And I'm going to check that, paulbegleyprophecy.com. If I go to Paul Begley TV, then it says view exclusive content on the right. You see that, Brock?
Yep, you're live.
Am I live over there? All right, Brock says I am live. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay. Am I talking? You can see me? I'm moving?
Yep.
Okay, good.
It says you're live, you're moving.
Perfect. Okay, so reason I'm saying that. Why am I saying that? Because I'm saying that because I'm going to be going off the air on YouTube at the end of the program so that I can speak very freely about this, about some of the subjects, and it can only be at paulbegleyprophecy.com to say that. Okay, so that's where I'll be. So you might want to, while you're watching this today, you might want to already open another tab and be ready to go to paulbegleyprophecy.com, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Okay. Let me first put a shout out right now for www.healthwithpaul.com. Give me just a second here because I got my own issues. My own technical issues here. That's www.healthwithpaul.com. And here's what we're finding out about that, folks. You all know. Check this out. Studies have revealed that our appearance affects our mental health. Okay? It does. It affects our mental health. The anti-aging industry has tried to capitalize on this for decades. Unfortunately, many of the anti-aging products out there will fall way short. This is because most of their serums and supplements are out there don't target the source of the problem. This is why I'm such a huge fan of multi-collagen by BioTrust at www.healthwithpaul.com. That's www.healthwithpaul.com. This collagen is not human collagen. No. But instead, it's plant, egg, and fish collagen. Okay? It works to quickly restore the youthfulness back into your skin. It helps by combating loose skin and wrinkles, and it does this quicker and more effectively than anything else I've ever tried. Imagine how good your skin will look this summer when you go to www.healthwithpaul.com. That's www.healthwithpaul.com, and you can save 51%. That's pretty cool. All right. Now, here's what's going on. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. We've got a lot going on, and let's start it out right out of the blocks. Of course, the big story that's shaking the nation. Who leaked the documents? What? Yep. Who leaked the documents? That's what's on everybody's mind right now. The reports are this. Chief Justice John Roberts today confirmed the draft's authenticity and promised an investigation into the source of the leak. The draft opinion is by Justice Samuel Alito. So, reaction to this leaked document. Now, the document has to do on the opinion of the court and how it's going to review, in this Mississippi case, how it's going to review Roe v. Wade. This leaked initial draft majority opinion suggests that the U.S. Supreme Court is poised to overturn Roe v. Wade's decision that legalized abortion nationwide. This unprecedented leak has stunned Washington. It holds the potential to reshape the political landscape ahead of the U.S. midterm elections coming up in November. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer had a joint statement, and they said, and I'll read it, they said, the Republican-appointed justices have reported votes to overturn Roe v. Wade would go down as an abomination, one of the worst and most damaging decisions in modern history. Several of these conservative justices, who are in no way accountable to the American people, have lied to the U.S. Senate, ripped up the Constitution, and defiled both precedent and the Supreme Court's reputation, all at the expense of tens of millions of women who could soon be stripped of their bodily anatomy and autonomy and the constitutional rights that they've relied on for half a century. So pretty powerful words coming. I'm not going to read everybody's statement.
Here's the definition of the word abomination.
The definition for the word abomination is that which is exceptionally loathsome, hateful, sinful, wicked, or vile. So they're saying that they feel that the overturning of that court case would become an abomination. I'm not going to read everybody else's comments, but I am going to read Senator Tom Cotton. Here's what he said. The Supreme Court and the Department of Justice must get to the bottom of this leak immediately, using every investigative tool necessary. In the meantime, Roe was egregiously, there it is, wrong from the beginning. And I pray the court follows the Constitution and allows the states to once again protect unborn life. I'm not going to talk any more about this subject until at the end of the broadcast, when I shut YouTube off and I go directly to paulbegleyprophecy.com, okay, where I can speak freely. But I can read what Jesus said about children. How's that? I can read that. And in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, here's what Jesus said. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Jesus called a little child unto him, and he set him in the midst of them. And he said, verily I say unto you, except you become converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone was hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man whom the offenses cometh. So the world is going to have a problem with children, but woe unto them who have the problem with children. Okay, well, we'll talk more about that at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com at the end of this broadcast. Let me tell you what else is going on here. Hundreds of people await rescue from Mariupol steel plant. We've been talking about that for some time now. And this is quite unbelievable. But CBS News sees how a Ukraine town sacrificed itself to stop Russia. More than 200 civilians are still believed to be holed up inside a decimated steel works in the southern Ukraine city of Mariupol today, along with a couple thousand Ukrainian defense forces, with Russian reportedly blocking further evacuations, according to CBS News correspondent Chris Livesay. He reports a ceasefire finally enabled the evacuation of just 100 civilians from under the tunnels at that steel plant. The first group were rescued after 2 months of relentless Russian shelling of the city and the plant. We're still headed for safety in Ukrainian-held territories today. It's estimated that the 100,000 people are still sheltered in basements and other hiding places throughout the city of Mariupol. The strategic port city has been plummeted by Russian rockets and artillery since Vladimir Putin ordered the invasion of Ukraine on February 24th. It is now controlled by the invading forces with only a couple thousand members of the Ukrainian National Guard still holding out under the steel plant. Okay, so we're praying for these folks because, guys, this is really bad what they're going through. It's just horrendous, but it's exactly what we've been saying was going to happen. We've been saying that this war, that what's happening to the Ukrainian people is atrocious, it's horrific, and it's dangerous, and it's evil. And evil seems to be lurking in a lot of places lately. Matter of fact, let me tell you of some more evil that's taking place right now. And that's why I'm going to say right now, I've been saying that May 15th, that's coming, this blood moon coming on May 15th, Brock, might be a sign of the return of Jesus Christ in a big way, because think about all the things that are happening right now. We get the economy, hyperinflation, recession, oil prices, everything's out of control. The war in Ukraine, and thousands of innocent civilians are being destroyed and murdered and killed. The price of food and famine, the fact we just came through a pandemic, the fact that we left the debacle in Afghanistan, the fact that the borders are porous and are overrun. Those are a lot of things happening in America. But globally, we're having massive eruptions of volcanoes, meteorites crashing, asteroids. We have 8 asteroids today that are going to go past the Earth, near miss the Earth tonight. 8 different asteroids. And it's not even being talked about in the media. No, because the media is talking about this situation, this leaked documents in Washington, and what this means. Again, the battle for the unborn is on the line. And meanwhile, while all these wicked and evil things are happening, crime at an all-time high, it's like everything in the Bible. It's like Jesus said, false Christ and false prophets shall rise, and they shall deceive many. You'll hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, famines, pestilences, earthquakes in divers places. We're seeing evil on every side. And like Steve Quayle said, social credit scores will determine rations of food. This was confirmed also by Mike from around the world. Steve also said June 1st, he expects food shortages in America will be at a very low levels. In other words, it won't be good. And meanwhile, Putin is threatening nuclear war. Have you ever seen a time of such instability, turmoil? Putin said you won't even have time to blink your eye when you execute Article 5. And that's what he told NATO. So, yeah, it's ugly. Well, let's go to what Sergei Lavrov said. Sergei Lavrov, who's really the second or third top official in Russia, he outraged the Jewish people because he claimed that Hitler was part Jewish. And this is absolutely driving the people of Israel insane. Israel has reacted with fury, after Russia's foreign minister claimed that the Nazi leader Adolf Hitler had Jewish blood. Sergei Lavrov made these comments, which is so racist, to try and justify Russia's portrayal of Ukraine as a Nazi nation, despite the fact that its president is Jewish, because Zelensky is Jewish. So Israel's foreign ministry summoned Russia's ambassador for clarification, demanded an apology. Nazi Germany murdered 6 million Jews in the Holocaust in World War II. And Lavrov made the remarks in an interview on Italian TV program on Sunday, days after Israel had just marked its Holocaust Remembrance Day, one of the most solemn occasions, of course, on the Israeli calendar. When asked how Russia could claim that it's fighting to denazify Ukraine, and when President Zelensky is himself Jewish, Mr. Lavrov said, well, I could be wrong, but Hitler also had Jewish blood. And that Zelensky is Jewish. That means absolutely nothing, folks. But wise Jewish people say that the most adherent anti-Semitics are usually Jews. That's what Lavrov is saying. That was a racist comment as you could ever make. You talk about anti-Semitic. And so he's saying the reason that we're attacking Ukraine is we're trying to denazify Ukraine. And then he throws so he's saying that the Jewish people are Nazis. No. Did he not read his history book? That the Nazis killed 6 million Jews. I mean, this is unbelievable.
That's not in his history.
That's apparently not in the Kremlin curriculum of a school of history for Sergei Lavrov. It's not in the Kremlin curriculum, apparently. Actually, it's being removed from the American curriculum too. If you just want to know, they don't even talk about the Holocaust more in U.S. history and American schools. But that's in our statement. So the Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said such lies are meant to blame the Jews themselves for the most terrible crimes in history, and thus free oppressors of the Jews from their responsibilities. He said, this is insane. This is insane. The Israeli Foreign Minister, Yair Lapid, reacted angrily, calling Mr. Lavrov's words unforgivable. Lavrov was also condemned by the head of Israel's Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial. And most of his remarks are absurd, delusional, dangerous, deserving of any condemnation. Lavrov deals with the reversal of the Holocaust, turning the victims into the criminals. Based on what? A promotion of a completely unfounded claim that Hitler was of Jewish descent. He was born in Austria. In the video address, President Zelensky said, I have no words. No one has heard any denial or any justification from Moscow. All we have is silence. Yeah, so it's getting ugly out there, guys. When we say overcoming evil, this is what we mean. Overcoming evil. We are living in the days of evil. We really are. We're living in the days of wickedness. We're living in the days that the Bible said was coming. Wickedness in high places, evil on every side, and you can see it now. Washington now, you knew Washington, D.C. couldn't stay quiet for too long, that the evil would have to pour out of there too. I mean, this blood moon coming up May 15th, I think, is going to be one of the most important, significant times in history, and literally could be a major sign. This may be a very major sign of war, maybe even nuclear war. I've actually told Brock that I'm concerned that it's going to be on May 15th, 16th. 15th or 16th is the day of a nuclear detonation. I hope to God I'm wrong, but I feel really worried about it. Let me just put it that way. Very, very worried about it. It's as if it could very well happen. I mean, it's that eerie.
Evil is on the rise. It's all around us, and it's closing in from all sides. So what do we do about it? Don't miss Overcoming Evil, the latest powerful webinar from Paul Begley Prophecy Ministries. A lineup of experts will examine and explain demons and deliverance from a variety of perspectives. The Overcoming Evil webinar. Order it now at paulbegleyprophecy.com.
I really think, guys, we're really
evil.
Yeah, evil. I think the evil is everywhere, and I'm going to say this: when we decided to do this webinar, again, it's like the Lord knows what's coming. Like when we did the armies of the Antichrist, like when we do the aliens, AI, and the Antichrist. Every time we do a webinar, something that's exactly what's taking place. It's like. And so the Lord is, that's why we're Paul Begley Prophecy. We're prophetically showing you the current world events and what's going on, but we're also showing you in advance, getting out ahead of what's coming. And Brock, you know it's true. It just keeps happening. And these webinars are so important, so profound. So if you haven't ordered, if you missed some of the other webinars, go to my website, go look at all them webinars and start ordering the different series. Get yours in DVD. I'm going to tell you why. Because one day they're going to wipe the internet clear of all religion, all Christianity, everything. It will. And these Bibles that you have in your home and those DVDs that you got will be some of the most prophetic information that's all be left. So please, it's that serious. It is that serious. Are you serious? Speaking of serious, did you hear about Garth Brooks caused an earthquake? What? Garth Brooks concert down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, created an earthquake. There was 102,000 people gathered there. In the waning hours on Saturday, April 30th, the ground beneath Louisiana boots started to tremble. Just east of the Mississippi River there in Baton Rouge, nestled in the Louisiana State University campus, country music star Garth Brooks performed a local favorite song at the jam-packed Tiger Stadium. The crowd's fervor was so strong it registered a small earthquake. Are you serious? It was unbelievable. He was singing the song Callin' Baton Rouge, which is where he is at, in Baton Rouge. And the earthquake literally happened from the loud of the crowd. Man-made earthquake. Now, we have heard of that once before. It happened in Seattle at a Seattle Seahawks game when the crowd at a football game was so loud it caused an earthquake. This is the first time a concert has caused an earthquake. Unbelievable, really. Does that mean the earth is just getting weaker? Would it be great if the church would get on fire and we could cause an earthquake in a great service, a great revival service, a great powerful service? I'm seeing it coming. It's coming. It is coming. I'd like to be there when it happens, but it is coming. Okay. Wow. I have more information. I want you to pray for some kids down in Kentucky, down in Louisville, Kentucky. Students were in a school bus. The school bus ran off I-64 and crashed, flipping over. 21 students were on board. They were all students of Manual High School. And according to report, none of the students were seriously injured. There were injuries. The bus driver wasn't injured, it's a miracle, really. According to it, 8 students have been taken to Norton's Children's Hospital. 7 students were taken to Norton's Women's and Children's Hospital, and 2 students were taken to Norton's Children's Medical Center. I don't have the image. I don't have the picture, no. But I might be able to, let me just see if I have it here. Give me one second. Yeah, it's kind of miraculous that they weren't hurt worse than what they were, to be honest.
7:30 this morning.
7:30 a.m. Okay, give me one moment here. Let's see if I can. No, it's not going to let me show the picture for some reason.
Yeah, and nobody knows about this.
But yeah, nobody's really talking about it. But good news is these kids are going to be okay. There was a significant shutdown of the road, of course, you can imagine, on I-64 West. Been there many, many, many times driving through there. And we used to live there for 9 years. So, yeah, good news that none of these kids lost their lives. So thank God for that. Amen. Yeah, why not cause an earthquake for Jesus Christ? I'm with you. I think that's what we need to do. If we would just get our faith as strong as it should be, it can happen. Guys, have you heard about the stinky, toxic foam clouds floating in Bogota, Colombia? Brock, have you seen that? That's insane. I'm going to just look at this. What? Stinky, toxic foam clouds floating through Bogota, Colombia. What do you mean by stinky, toxic foam clouds? Well, what happened, guys, is this. The clouds of toxic foam rising from the local river float over top of the neighborhood there in Bogota, Colombia. According to local authorities, this white toxic foam was caused in part by untreated sewage mixing with chemicals found in household detergents. So untreated sewage mixed with chemicals from people's household detergents created foam clouds that come off the river and floated into the community, and the clouds were stinking. What? Stop the stinking thinking. Stop the stinking foam clouds. You talk about a weather report. Who wants that kind of weather report? What? Stinking toxic foam clouds. It's crazier things can happen, though, guys. I'm telling you, crazier things can happen. It's just unbelievable to me. I don't know how that can even happen. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. Something's up with that. Yeah. Well, also, speaking of clouds, there was also a major volcano, East Java in Indonesia. Proclastic flow created a billowing ash plume there in Indonesia. It occurred yesterday morning. It destabilized the lava dome, resulting in a partial collapse. An abundant gray ash plume, so-called phoenix clouds, separated the descending proclastic density current. It rose 13,500 feet, or 4,100 meters into the added altitude. Volcano Observatory reported this seismic signal with a maximum. It lasted for over 300 seconds. This explosion, that's just incredible. But another major eruption, this time in Indonesia. Yeah. You know, everywhere we go, it seems like everywhere we turn, there's another situation. Here, maybe you guys can see this. Quite extensive explosion, to be quite honest. But the volcanoes are erupting everywhere. And this is exactly what Mike from the World talked about. We'll have Mike on again with us this Thursday night. We'll be talking about these things because they seem to be happening at a very fast pace. Earthquakes, solar flares. Speaking of solar flares, let's go and talk about that because that also has happened. Here's that stinky foam. Let's get a little bit better picture of it. Yeah, just wow. You know, every time I look around, I see it's another issue. But we also had a solar flare issue. We had an X-class, X1.1, an X1.1 solar flare class, X-class 1.1 solar flare. The Earth orbiting satellites have just detected it. It's hit them pretty hard. And that's what's causing some blackouts in different parts of the country and in different parts of the world. There's been radio blackouts. It's also affecting satellites and affecting even some of the internet connections. Once again, we're getting more and more of these guys. That the sun is becoming more and more volatile. There's no question about that. And the Bible said there'd be signs in the sun, the moon, the stars, the stress of nations with perplexity, the sea, the waves to be roaring, and men's hearts would fail them for fear, for looking after those things come up on the earth.
Trying to take your phone from you.
For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. You need my phone?
Yep. I'll give it back.
Okay. All right. Matter of fact, take a look here at this list of asteroids. If you can see in the list, and I'll use my cursor, right here on May 3rd, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's very close. It's going to come within 1.8 lunar distance. 5, 6, that one's close. 7, that one's close. 8, they're all near misses. They're all close enough to be listed as near miss asteroids, meteor asteroids. 8 asteroids will near miss the Earth tonight. 8 of them. It's getting more and more and more prevalent. They're getting closer. There's more of them.
That's for Pastor Sammy.
Okay, everything seems to be intensifying as we're dealing with all kinds of apocalyptic events everywhere. And so we're keeping a close eye on these things because they are absolutely happening. Okay? They're happening, and it's not good at all, but we are witnessing it. We're witnessing it because the Bible prophesied it would happen. And so these things are coming about. And the Bible says, yes, there'll be signs in the sun, the moon, the stars, distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves will be roaring. Men's hearts will fail them for fear, looking after those things that are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. But then shall we see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory. And when you begin to see these things coming to pass, he said, lift up your head, look up, lift up your head, for your redemption is drawing nigh. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing, what's taking place right now around the world. We are getting closer and closer to the Lord's return. There is no doubt about it. And you're right, RoboMom. It is the blessed hope. And it's just, we need to be ready. Jesus said, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you, but go with you all the way, even to the end of the world. So even he's even at the door. It's another scripture, part of a scripture. So yes, we are getting closer to the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't want you to be left behind. I want everybody to be ready. I can't wait. The webinar coming up, Overcoming Evil. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. We're going to discuss the things that are actually happening in this world, and it will be enlightening. And I think Steve Quayle, Mike Run the World, Doug Hagman, those 3 guys are going to just blow your mind. Then you throw in Archbishop Athanasius Schneider with one of the best interviews. I've interviewed him now 3 times, I think. This was the best one of the 3, no doubt about it. Not even close. He'll bring tears to your eyes. He'll rock your world with some of the information he's going to share with you. And so will Steve Quayle. And I don't even know what Mike's going to say. I haven't filmed him yet. I haven't filmed Doug Hagman. I'm doing that this week, but I can tell you, he already told me, showed me some of the pictures he's going to show you. It just blows your mind. Tom Dunn, who was working so close for 20 years with Russ Dizdar. Lester Summerall is amazing. The grandson of Dr. Lester Summerall. Michael Bodia is awesome. I've already recorded his. He's the grandson of Dimitri Duduman. I mean, this seriously, guys, this is a webinar of biblical proportion. It really is.
Evil is on the rise. It's all around us, and it's closing in from all sides. So what do we do about it? Don't miss Overcoming Evil, the latest powerful webinar from Paul Begley Prophecy Ministries. A lineup of experts will examine and explain demons and deliverance from a variety of perspectives. The Overcoming Evil webinar. Order it now at paulbegleyprophecy.com.
You know, it really will be evil. Yeah, I know. And I don't like evil. I like good. Okay. I don't like evil, but we better warn the people. The Bible said, if you see a sword coming, told Ezekiel, said, I set you a watchman on the wall, Ezekiel. If you see a sword coming and you fail to warn my people, I will require their blood on your hands. So I'm not going to let that happen to me. I have got to tell you what's going to happen, what's coming, the prophecies of the Bible. But I'm also telling you that Jesus is coming. And I want you to be ready. Okay? I want you to be ready for when he comes. We're looking for our blessed hope. Oh, by the way, we talked about the volcano, but have I told you about the Antarctica? The submarine volcano that is blasted by a swarm of 85,000 earthquakes in Antarctica. Brock believes it is a record. It could be, Brock. I mean, it really could. And I mean, I don't know what to say. This is unbelievable. But the earth, the birthing pains of the end of days. Things are waking up in a big, big way. Check this out, guys. But Antarctica, Orca, submarine volcano, blasted by a swarm of 85,000 earthquakes. In a remote area, a mix of geophysical methods identifies magma transfer below the seafloor as the cause. Under the ice. What's under the ice? Well, why is everybody going to Antarctica? What is under the ice? What is there? Is it the Nephilims? Is it the magma rising that would cause the end of the world? Is it nations with biolabs? Is there a lot of things going on there? But we know for sure there's volcanoes. And this volcano, subterranean volcano, is under the ground. Evil. I hate to bring it up again, but did you hear about Lake Mead? We told you guys Lake Mead over there at the Hoover Dam, how things are sinking and how the water's going lower. Yesterday, we reported that an intake valve is now showing because Lake Mead got so low. A mega drought. Well, today they found a barrel containing human remains has been discovered in Lake Mead. The water got so low that a barrel was discovered by a fisherman. Authorities say the barrel was carrying human remains. Boaters spotted the barrel, and the National Park Service was alerted. The agency said in a statement, rangers searched the area near Hemingway Harbor and found the barrel with skeletal remains. They're now working with the Las Vegas police. According to KLAS TV, Shauna Hollister in Las Vegas, that she and her husband were docking their boat when they heard a woman scream. Then they saw the body, which also had a shirt and belt visible. The barrel might have been visible due to Lake Mead's low water level from ongoing drought. A massive drought has starved this reservoir on the Colorado River and has become so depleted that the Las Vegas now is pumping water from deeper within the Lake Mead, where other states downstream don't have access because the intake valve is already exposed. So some people can't get water because their valve is already above the water. Okay. So water wars are going on, guys. This massive drought-starved reservoir on the Colorado River has become so depleted that Las Vegas is now pumping water from deeper within Lake Mead. Lake Mead and Lake Powell upstream are the largest human-made reservoirs in the United States, part of a system that provides water to more than 40 million people, tribes, agriculture, and industry in Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming, and across the southern portion of the Southwest. This is huge problem. And this is why Steve Quayle did that film called Mega Drought. He brought that film out last year. It hasn't gotten better. It's getting worse. Jesus said there'd be famines. There would be these droughts. We would see all kinds of different problems. It's happening. It's not getting better, but it's getting worse. I need you to pray for Danny. What's his last name? Bonaducci. He was on the Partridge Family. Remember him? He was the drummer. He was Danny, the drummer, right? From the Partridge Family. Well, Danny has his own radio show, and he's on in Seattle, Washington, called the Danny Bonaducci and Sarah Morning Show.
Good guy.
Yeah, and he's a Christian, and he's trying to do good things. But guys, he's come down with a very strange illness, and the doctors cannot diagnose him. They don't know what it is. Okay? They don't know what it is. And let me see. I think I can show you a picture here why I need you to pray for him, because this is not good. Okay? He's lost a ton of weight, and he's really looking rough, to be honest, and he really needs our prayers. Danny is working on figuring out the cause of this new unknown health ailment. Truly is a mystery. 2 days earlier, the Partridge Family album 62 announced that he's taking a temporary leave from his radio show, the Danny Bonaducci and Sarah Morning Show, on Seattle's KZOK radio, while seeking a diagnosis for his mystery illness. So we need to pray for Danny. He's needs our prayers. He said, "I'm still working towards receiving the diagnosis." He said on Twitter, "What I know is I need time to focus on my health. I love my job. I love talking to you guys. I'll be back on the air soon. Please pray for me." So let's pray for him, okay? He's asking for prayer. Evil's everywhere. In northwest London, a woman caused the death of an 11-month-old daughter, was found dead in a bedroom. But the mother said they're saying that the callous mother caused the death of her baby after keeping her in a house of squalor with feces smeared on the walls. Fartun Jamal, 25, has been jailed for 5 years and 6 months as the court heard and seen the medical condition of this child.
He died of a
Lung infection, but the house was coated in feces and urine. You know, the Bible talks about an unclean spirit, okay? And that's when unclean, you know, the old saying, when I grew up as a kid, you know, my mom always said, now, you know, cleanliness is the next thing to godliness, okay? Yeah, wash your hands, you know, get clean. My mom always made sure our clothes were clean. The house was clean. She mopped all the time. She cleaned. She scrubbed walls and windows and everything else. And she never let us kids go to school dirty. And, you know, I would come home with grass stains on my jeans. And she's like, do you have to fall in the grass? Do you have to always dive and fall? You know, I always was out playing sports and ball and stuff. And I always come back but she would scrub it, and she would somehow scrub those grass stains out of my jeans. And, you know, it's just a miracle. But I tell you, we should be thankful. A lot of folks don't have this opportunity. You really, really don't. Please pray. You know, it's a tough time we're in. We're in the last days. The outcry in Shanghai is just getting worse. A person was declared dead and put in a body bag, and the bags were piled up. But then when they went to get the body bags, this person was alive. 6 people are under investigation in Shanghai after an elderly nursing home resident was mistakenly declared dead, put in a body bag, and taken to the coroner's office. Was in a waiting van stacked with others before the mortuary workers noticed that they were still alive. And they got it on film. The incident, which took place this past Sunday afternoon, was filmed by the onlookers, and footage quickly spread online, sparking a furious backlash in the city of Shanghai, which has already been under a grueling lockdown for 5 weeks with the green fences and the whole 9 yards. So in the footage, workers were wearing protective clothing, are seen pulling the body bag out of the mortuary van onto a trolley. They look inside the bag before realizing the person inside is alive. Alive. Did you see that? Alive. Do not cover him again. One worker goes to speak with people wearing protective suits outside the building, and the elderly patient is wheeled back inside.
They still took him in there.
Put him back in. The incident was confirmed, and there's an investigation now. The Shanghai Supervisory Commission and Central Commission for Discipline Inspection said 5 officials, including the director of the care home and doctor, have been stood down and put under investigation. I don't even want to be those guys.
That's the thing about it. They didn't let the man off the table. They just kept pushing him in.
Just kept pushing him in, and it's on the film. So you're dead there, even if you are alive. You're a dead man walking. And then, of course, in Israel, over in Ashdod, a homeless man set himself on fire. The man was rushed to the hospital after setting himself on fire outside the Ashdod municipality building. This happened Sunday morning. According to Megan David Adam, the man was around 50 years old. He was brought to the medical center. Serious burns all over his body. He's now in a coma. He's on a ventilator.
He was a veteran of the IDF.
Was he a veteran of IDF? So we don't know exactly.
PTSD.
Yeah. So it's a sad story. And somebody set themselves on fire in front of the Supreme Court 2 months ago here in America. And we're not sure what that was about. There's a lot of, I think the demons have gone wild. I think that might be the right, I don't know what else to say. And now we have this document leak, this leaked document that has stunned America. And my question is, who leaked the document? And again, Chief Justice John Roberts today confirmed that the draft's authenticity, that it was legitimate, it was real, and he promised an investigation into the source of the leak. The FBI has been called. They're in there. They got everybody on lockdown there. The draft opinion was written by Justice Sam Alito. Now, I want to tell you about what I think about this and what I really believe, and I cannot do that on this YouTube channel. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a song, come right back, and I'm going to break this thing down for you, okay? I'm going to break this thing down for you. We'll be right back in a few minutes. But boy, would you agree we need to give this world back to God? You're going to hear my opinion at paulbegleyprophecy.com. We're going to go there. Go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. Right after this song, we're going to paulbegleyprophecy.com.
Have you looked around? Have you heard the sound of mama's crying? Or do you turn away when you see the face of the innocent dying? In these darkest days, are you not afraid that it's too late? You gotta get down on your knees, believe, fold your hands and beg and plead. You gotta keep praying. You gotta cry, rain, tears of pain, pound the floor and scream his name, because we're still worth saving. Can't go on like this and live like this. We can't love like this. Give this world back to God. Have you lost your love? Feel like giving up? Has your heart been broken? Are your kids okay? Do they come home safe? Do you lie there hoping? You can make a wish, you can knock on wood, oh, it won't do you no good. You gotta get down on your knees, believe, fold your hands and beg and plead. You gotta keep on praying. You gotta cry, rain, tears of pain, pound the floor and scream his name, because we're still worth saving. We can't go on like this and live like this. We can't love like this. Give this world back to God. You gotta get down on your knees, believe, fold your hands and beg and plead, and keep on praying. You gotta cry, rain, tears of pain, pound the floor and scream his name, because we're still worth saving. Can't go on like this and live like this. We can't love like this. You can hope the best, make a wish. The only answer is give this world back to God. Oh, give it back.
Go join me at Paul Begley Prophecy. I'll show you how to do it, and we'll give you the unfiltered version of the leaked document. Uncensored, unfiltered. gotta get this world back to God. All right, guys. Now we need to get this world back to God. Now, here's what we're going to do. Everybody at YouTube, we want you to go to PaulBegleyProphecy.com. I'm going to show you how to do it if you've never done it before, and it's very easy, and you'll be able to watch the rest of the program there at my website. Let me show you how that is done, okay? Give me 1 second here. Let me take you to my website. Open that tab. There we are. This is PaulBegleyProphecy.com or PaulBegleyProphecy.org. Either one takes you right here. This is the home page. Of course, you can get your tickets, Overcoming Evil, by clicking right there and then click to register, and there you can get your tickets ordered, okay? Now, what you need to do to join me live here is at the top. You see where it says Paul Begley TV? Right there, right in the center. Paul Begley TV, right there. Let's click there. That takes you to this Paul Begley On Demand. And at Paul Begley On Demand, you want to go to the right where it says View Exclusive Content. View Exclusive Content. There it is. Click right on that box. View Exclusive Content. Boom. That takes you here to Paul Begley Prophecy website. Okay. This is the home page. There we go. Of course, you can get your tickets. See? Overcoming Evil by clicking right there. A little bit of a delay. Click to register, and there you can get your tickets ordered. Okay. Now, what you need to do to join me live here is at the top. You see where it says Paul Begley TV? See? Click there, right in the center. Paul Begley TV, right there. Let's click there. Okay. That takes you to this Paul Begley On Demand. And at Paul Begley On Demand, you want to go to the right where it says View Exclusive Content. View Exclusive Content. There it is. Click right. Okay, so we see what's going to on that box. It's going to take you there. So I want you to go there now. Guys, go there now. Go to Paul Begley Prophecy, and I will join you there. We're going to be leaving YouTube right now. And I'll be back, though, to YouTube. I have a lot of other information I want to share with you, so I'll be doing videos today. So stay tuned to Paul Begley, to my YouTube channel. We'll have more information coming to you. Also, if you missed the Patreon, the exclusive Patreon we did that Mike Around the World Intel that Mike gave us, so he said we could put it on Patreon. That is over there. You can watch that on Patreon, okay? Join my Patreon channel for that. We're going to Paul Begley Prophecy for the exclusive rest of the show. Go there. It is free. Go to PaulBegleyProphecy.com. I'm leaving YouTube now. If I can figure out how to do that. Give me 1 second here. Yes.